watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me.
And it's your boy King coming to you with more content. I wanted to talk about a couple things. One of them is police brutality. We talk about defending the police a lot, and these videos here alone could show the value and the reason for it to have to be, because police are now seemingly unaccountable for their actions. They encounter themselves all the time with black and brown people, and they are always aggressive. It doesn't matter what the situation is. And, we don't think about different things that happen to these people until we see it happen to ourselves or somebody dies from it. The police is out of control. They don't care about consequences. They don't care about public safety. They don't care about anything. They will harm you in the name of you not harming yourself. And it's crazy. We pay attention to these things all the time. And a lot of times we brush it off because it didn't happen to us. And that's where we're wrong at most times. Because it did happen to us. It just didn't happen directly to us. There's always a reason to hold police accountable. And we have to defund them. We have to put them in the position to let them know that they are accountable for what they do. When they beat our children, our mothers and fathers, our brothers and sisters, when they beat them and they hurt them and they kill them, they go home. They go home without hardly no issues with sleeping. You'll be lucky if they don't hurt more than one person during an altercation or a wellness check or anything like that. The police fear for their life so much that it's now police culture to be scared. To be scared means if you are a threat, no matter what you look like or what you have done, they have the right to harm you. No matter what you do. Hands up. You're on the ground. It doesn't matter. They will harm you over personal reasons and over jealousy. They will harm you. They will make sure that you will fear them. And they can have the same color of skin as you do. But they don't look at the color of the skin. They look at the color of their uniforms. They will harm you in the worst way and enjoy it. So yes, we have to defund the police. We have to put them in their place. We have to show them that our money don't go to our abuse. That our tax dollars doesn't go to our abuse. That we are not the punching bags. We are not the bodysuits, the target practices. We are not going to continue to be the victims. We are going to be the lawyers. We are going to be the judges. We are going to be the citizens. We are going to be the people. Because defunding them means that we will have to take more responsibility in our neighborhoods, which is fine. I'd rather deal with a security force with tasers and respect for the community than a force full of people with guns and no respect at all. See, when we say defund the police, it's not because we want to get rid of police. It's because police has too many resources to harm the citizens, and they are now making it their business to harm the citizens. Anything they get, every technology they get, every type of item they get is to eliminate a threat amongst the civilian population. And it's always negligence that the cops use to harm someone, and then come up with a story and say that the person harmed themselves, or it wasn't because of their actions that this person has passed away, or that this person is injured. A cop can literally beat you, harm you on camera, and everyone can stand around, like the so-called good cops, the so-called righteous ones. They will stand around you and hurt you. Another topic is what type of things that these officers get, like military equipment. How do you give officers military equipment and they start looking like soldiers? Now we got soldiers walking the streets. Can't wait to pounce on somebody. Can't wait to harm somebody. And all we do is we sit in our houses, most of us, we just sit in our houses and we try to figure out how we're going to feed our kids, or how we going to go to work the next day, or how we going to, do we even have enough gas? But yet we got military forces and techniques being taught to our police to make people like us be subdued. That is not governing. That is tyranny. That is authoritarianism. That is something that we've seen before in Americans' history. America doesn't have a good history in treating other citizens or people of color. They don't have the moral aptitude to state what is right or wrong when they are constantly wrong. Would you like to see this walk up to your door? The guy with the gun on the truck? What is that for? I mean, you use those to approach insurgents in the military zone. A Humvee with a gun? That is just like the tanks they have. What do you need a Humvee with a gun for? Why is the gun aimed with seemingly precision by trigger-happy cops who also may have racial tendencies and backgrounds? Doesn't make sense. But, who am I to think, right? I guess, that's not the American way to think for yourself. But what about other topics like, why are the police policing the homeless? Why do police deal with people who need services versus law pushing civilian? When they make laws so that the police can mess with the homeless, which is messed up. It's messed up. And you wonder why we say defund the police. I would be fired if I treated people the way the police have treated me and anyone else. I'd be fired if we, or in jail if we'd have done half the things these police get away with doing. But yeah, here we are speaking on it and still getting hated on because we want it. This always be the culture war that these presidents and these officials be talking about. When you hear that culture war, it's a dog whistle for the racists. That is something that they use. And you can't tell me anything about culture don't sound crazy. And then you say, and it has nothing to do with racism. But we forgive too easily. And that's why they do what they do to us, and they continue to do what they do to us. And that lets us fall under scrutiny. Because this is what happens when we do not hold these people accountable. This is what happens when we do not stand for one another and seek justice and demand a swift justice because we understand that these police are against us. So yes, defunding the police is something that we want. It is something that is needed. Because for one thing, I understand in any political place, atmosphere, where there is people who run places or are in charge. This is what they do. Just like the Supreme Court, who's supposed to protect us. They give the police the freedom. They make acts and pass laws in Congress that gives police justice fast and swift while we wait months and years and sometimes never get justice. This is the police culture. This is the governmental culture that are against the people. So yes, defund them. We need to, because we got money to go elsewhere. We can't keep dealing with things that will continue to harm us, and we continue to see that they are protected from harming us. When you give them literally a protected shield over their conduct while they're policing at work, it's like saying, no matter what you do, I got you. And that's fine if it was people alive, if it was something going on that was legal. But these are illegal actions that are being taken against the people. And it's considered treason, actually, because the people is actually the government. So let's just get that clear. We are supposed to be the government. We are the people. We are the people. People are the American soul, the soul of America. Because as long as we see this stuff like this, how the government is complacent with things like this, we'll never see justice. And that's a fact. You got to think about, what is it that keeps the government acting the way it does, no matter how hard the people cry for a change? It's the fact that we do not replace them. All we do is continue to ask the same people who are in office, who are against us, for help. That's like asking an alligator to save you from the jaws of his child. That will never happen. So when people say that there's laws that need to be followed and the government has a president that needs to be followed, that is a lie. Some things, yes, they keep in tradition. But what about the things that they don't? What about the things that protected us that they're taking away from us? The police are becoming a force that is beyond even its usefulness. And it's telling, because you got to think about it. Where did the policing forum comes from? It comes from the very strong and wielded ancestral racial background of the slave patrol. And you know what the slave patrol looked like? You guessed it. Police. They were the first police to bring back the property, the slaves. And when you ask, well, who's the slaves? You know, America was very nice to people, right? Wrong. Who's the slaves, you say? Well, us. Owned by them. That is what it is. They don't like us and they won't. But it doesn't matter. Because what we do to change will be historical. And you know what it is? It's our time to thrive. It's our turn to make things happen, to make history. And we will. So With that being said, please like and subscribe. Send your comments in the bottom. Love y'all guys. Y'all stay safe. Be out there, man. Peace.
Watching me, they watching me.